Hey, if you guys like these tutorials, please subscribe and click the bell if you want to get notified. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Autodesk Flame Beginners Tutorial Series tutorials. So this is what we got going on so far. If you want to jump on back and kind of get caught up, or if you want to just kind of go through from here, we're going to be going over a little bit of green screening here. But this is what we have. We have this little scene of the trees. We have a G mask doing that little drip down reveal. We have a transition coming up. A little bit of a warping and stuff, and then bam, it takes us into this next scene. This next scene, we are going to first go Control 2 to get a double view up. We'll pop up our zombie green screen. Man, it's amazing. Look at how well that green screen was lit for that zombie. It's going to make the keying so freaking easy. I know what you're thinking. Oh, the key is going to be so easy. It's going to be like the easiest job and stuff. Well, of course, it's the tutorial, and you do have a good point there, but this is just kind of like the footage that came down, so that's what it is. So it's gonna be an easy key, but we'll kind of go over some like things that you could come across, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see where this tutorial goes. Let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and slam this into a batch, just like we did with that previous scene. So what we did here is we got a little color correction. That's what we got here. Chroma key is right here. Color correction is right here. So we got a little color grade and stuff onto there. Let's go ahead and click on that clip. Go to Effects, select Selection as Flow Graph, and create Batch Effect. That will put us into Batch. So we got a 3-up view. I always have a press number 4 on my far right, and the middle one I always like to have current node, so we can see what we're working on, where the final composite is going, and then here's our trees. So let's go ahead and bring in an action with a matte. I just made this quick little user preset here. All it is just an action with the matte turned on. Action with matte, regular action. So I'm going to do this. Hold down Shift to kiss those together. Bring this on down. We're going to do Control N for our little input into action. Hold down Shift and kiss that in. Let's go ahead. Let's see what this footage is looking like here. Do we need to make an edit or not? We're just going to use the full thing. Looks like we can just use the full shot. We don't need to make an edit. Oh, cha-cha-cha. If we did need to make an edit, I would go ahead and put, like a little in point right here, an out point right here, drag that on my timeline. And then what that does is put the resize node and everything I need. Now I take this and drag it into a bin, and then go into my batch and connect that trimmed up thing into my edit. So that's how I would connect it on in if I needed to make an edit. I don't want that. I want the full version. I want that full clip. So I'm just going to drag that directly into my batch. Let's go ahead and connect that in. I'll show you one other thing. So kiss this on in. So here it is. Here's our shot. If I do space A, that zooms those back out to full. Then we can go to timing, and here's another way of timing in those clips. So if you didn't go ahead and trim it, you decide like, oh, hey, now I want to kind of shift this around in the scene. I can go to the timing offset and move that zombie around in time. In essence, doing an edit within batch. Multiple ways of doing it. Everything accomplishes the same thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump back out to batch, and we're going to go ahead and do a little chroma key on into this. Let's go ahead and grab our master keyer. So master K. You can also find that in the key tab. Same exact tool. Zoom on in. So to zoom in, control spacebar. That gives me a little zoom tool. I can go left or right with the mouse, and that zooms in and out. So it's going to connect this on up. We're just going to do the front instead of the matte. We have the front video view and then our matte view that's connected into there. We're going to connect this matte into here, and the master key, we'll go ahead and do that too. You could just connect it so it's just directly in essence, it's doing the same thing. We're just going to use the master key as a keying element. Double click on that. Now we still are seeing our current node output right here with that being activated, if you can see. Now we're going to press F4, pick a color. Okay, so with this middle being on current node, let's make sure that it's on the keyer result. F4 is the hotkey. And then if you hold down Alt or Option, if you're over the part that's not actually keyed out and matted, it's not going to do anything. But if you go over your actual image that is being matted out, keyed out, it actually gives you these slider options to be able to fine tune your matte in. So let's press F4 again and you can actually see the matte. So this is pretty much the easiest key you can ever do. So you don't really need to do any tweaks and stuff to this particular one. So we're going to F4 back out and here it is. There's our keyed out zombie. We can see that here he's got a little bit of an edge to him and stuff. So let's go ahead and clean that up a bit. If you haven't already, please click on the subscribe button. Okay, let's go ahead and just put a little matte edge to this since we're kind of seeing a little bit of green on him here. Got a little bit of green. So bring that in. We're going to hold down shift and kiss that on in. Let's go ahead and just turn on the shrink matte, which really fixes a lot of it. But knowing that I'm going to comp him in far back in the screen or in the scene here, that actually is going to give us this opportunity of not having to dial in this matte 100%. So that's going to be kind of helpful. So let's go ahead and pull up a color corrector. We're going to put that onto him. Hold down shift and kiss that in. Let's just drop down the green. There we go. Bring down the saturation a little bit. Oh, how about a little bit more? 55 that. Let's go ahead and put that yellowish look to him. Just kind of marry him on into the scene. Looks like we need a little bit of greenish. Just kind of get him to kind of match up with this post a little bit more. He's going to be comped back here, so maybe a little bit more of the reddish. Oops, there we go. Oh, ooh, there we go. Man, that zombie's awesome looking. Okay, something like that. I think something like that is going to comp in very nicely back there. So let's go ahead and jump into action and finish comping this bad boy on into there. We're going to put this center axis on down to the bottom of him. So it makes it a little easier for us to scale him into the scene. Let's put him on back here. What way is he walking there? He's going that way, huh? I want him to be walking the other way. So what if we did -42? There we go. We're just going to shift him. So now all of a sudden he's walking to the right. Yay. Okay, so he's going to be comped in back there. We're going to need to shrink him down to actually make him look like he belongs back there. So he's not a giant zombie. Oh, how about a 17 on him? See, looking over here, this is why I like to have this split view, because I can actually see my comp over here, see what I'm fixing here. Clicking on here, I can arrow up and down, and that is going to drop that in incremental digits, full digits. So yeah, something like that is probably looking good. We're going to have him just a little bit more bigger. How about 14.5? There we go. So it's looking pretty good. He's going to be back there walking along. In the next series of things, we're going to be actually keying out this post so he can be married into that scene a little bit better. So right in here, he's looking like he's a cool little zombie. And we need to track him in and stuff too. So we'll grab a couple tracking points in the next series of videos also. You know, one thing that I would probably do here, let's go ahead and grab a blur. You know, he's obviously too shiny or too crisp for that scene, especially being that far back in the shot. And then these pillars are a little bit blurry, and just to kind of blur them back in, maybe a 3.5, not quite that much. There we go. In the next tutorial, we'll go ahead and track him in, and we'll go from there. Check out my band page, Fade to Black, on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and everything else. Hey, check out the links below. We got a Patreon account. Check it out.